Hello, welcome to the Thematic Block 2 Learning Theme 1. In this video, we look at how you might customise your own chatbots. This presentation is focused on achieving the digital learning outcome, developing new digital formats for guidance and support. It will help you to create your own software to guide students through a particular process. We look at why you might customise your own chatbots, some important considerations, and a simple prompt. Following that, you will engage in activity that will encourage you to use the simple prompt and reflect on its appropriateness. There's a number of reasons why you might create a customised chatbot. By customising your own chatbot, it ensures appropriate pedagogical use of artificial intelligence rather than free rein or use of AI. Often when students use artificial intelligence, they use it in an unstructured, unscientific way. By customising a chatbot, it will reduce the black box impact of AI so it's clear and transparent and guides students through the process of learning using proven pedagogical approaches. It also ensures that only appropriate specific resources are used for learning rather than general, unsolicited resources. In addition, it provides guidance to learners who may have different needs and provides out-of-school support and tutoring to guide students through specific tasks. In addition, if used appropriately, it can encourage independent learning and thinking and support students that might be reluctant to ask for help. So customising chatbots are a great way of guiding and supporting learners through the learning process. It's important to have a number of different considerations before building your chatbot. These considerations ensure safe, effective and ethical use. It's important to have clear examples of good outputs. So for example, if you're creating a chatbot to support learners in developing an essay, it's important to have examples of good quality essays to support effective use. It's also important to have a clear pedagogical understanding of the process by which you will use the students. It's important that you base this on the science of learning. In course 3.1 Leadership, we look at the concept of the science of learning and how learning must be based in neuroscience in order to ensure effective learning. In addition, you must become cognizant of data privacy and safeguarding issues, particularly harmful responses or questions that the students might ask or inappropriate information the chatbot might give. It's possible to build these safeguarding into the chatbot. We will look at this in the advanced prompts. It's also important to consider sensitive topics and how the chatbot might respond appropriately to build emotional intelligence in chatbots. You also need to consider if there's bias in the content that you use, particularly your notes, and to remove any of this. Also ensuring that you maintain student agency, thinking and independence rather than handing all the information over to AI and the thinking associated with it. The objective is to support the students to become independent and withdraw scaffolding or guidance as they progress. It's also important to use age-appropriate language. Some sample customizations for students might be a Socrative partner. This is where the chatbot might ask questions that prompt the student to reflect and think and guide critically through a topic. This guides critical thinking and supports the students to think more deeply about information. An interactive case studies where artificial intelligence might play out a defined persona, enable students to practice a particular skill. For example, being a particular animal or a social care worker or an old person with mobility issues. This can support them to become more empathetic. Guided practice, this is where artificial intelligence offers step-by-step support to a student who's learning or practicing a particular problem. Also, a writing coach is a good example of a customised chatbot. This is where the chatbot helps a student evaluate the draft of a sample piece of work, identify areas of improvement and develop a revision plan. All these examples provide excellent approaches to guide and support students. Now we look at how to customise a chatbot. This is very easy to do. In particular, we look at both ChatGPT and Google Gemini as platforms. Both offer intuitive interfaces for creating customer custom AI assistants tailored to your classroom needs. To use ChatGPT, you need a paid account. This offers a builder for creating chatbots with detailed control over behaviour, knowledge and capabilities. First of all, you log in to ChatGPT and select Explore GTPs on the left-hand side of the ChatGPT dashboard. You can then click Create in the top right-hand corner. Use the Create tab for AI-assisted building or the Configure tab for more guided approaches. We're going to use the Configure tab here. Then you can start configuring your settings. First of all, name and describe your GPT. Write detailed instructions in the instruction box telling the GTP how to behave. You can also add knowledge and capabilities. This allows you to upload files, for example, lecture notes, PowerPoints, class notes, under knowledge. In capabilities, you can set conversation starters that encourage the student or prompt the student of what to say. And this enables features like web searches or data analysis. ChatGPT also allows you to upload files and add links to information such as data analysis. The second approach is using Google Gemini. To do this, you open Gemini and go to gemini.com. You select New Gem in the corner. To do this, you click Gems and open the Creation Management interface and select New Gem. You can then start writing your prompt. An example of a simple prompt that allows you to create a Socratic partner is identifying a role and goal. So your role might be to be a kind, patient, Socratic learning partner for a primary school student. The goal is to help the child to think carefully without giving answers. The context is the child learns from notes that you've uploaded as a teacher, and you only use information from those notes, no other information. Use simple language, short sentences and encouragement. The task is to ask why and how questions. Help students to notice clues in the notes, and if stuck, give them a small hint and ask another question. The output is one short, clear question at a time, simple vocabulary, warm, encouraging tone with no full answers. Now we're going to get you to use this prompt structure. If you go to the next activity in this learning block, Learning Theme 2, it will give you the sample prompt and the instructions on how to input it into GEMS. You can then test your custom Gemini to determine, does it follow the instructions in your prompt? Does it pull from the knowledge files? Does it match your tone or intent? And what isn't working well and how you might refine it? Note there's significant differences between Google Gemini and ChatGPT. ChatGPT does allow you to have more advanced prompts. However, Gemini is quite easy to use, and if schools are using Google Classroom, it's possible to switch this on and embed it in your practice. Now head over to the activity to try this in practice.